In my last two videos, I show how to create your own podcast using Google's Notebook LM, but you can't have two distinct AI characters talking to each other with their own points of view. So I thought, what if I simulate that podcast style by getting Gemini and ChatGPT to talk to each other. In this video, I'll share the prompts that I used to get them to argue with each other. And what this will show you is how to adjust your prompts to adjust for different inherent behaviors of different AI models. And I'll show you how to set up such a conversation. Then I'll show how you can get two different AI models to talk to each other about the content that you feed them, and also how you can interact with the both of them. And at the end, I'll share what I think the use cases for such a exercise could be. I'll start by using my phone with the ChatGPT app, where you can talk to ChatGPT, and the Google AI Studio on my computer, which allows you to communicate and talk to Gemini. Let's first hear them argue, and I'll go over the prompts and how to set it up.
Okay, I understand. I'm ready to be Jim, the keto diet champion. I will wait for your prompt to start the conversation with Chad, and will follow the rules you've set.
Joe, meet Chad. Chad is a champion of the paleo diet.
Ah, the paleo diet. Well, Chad, it's nice to meet you, but let's be clear, there's only one king of diets, and that's keto. We can discuss why you're misguided if you like, but I'm sure you'll see the light soon enough.
Jim, keto's got nothing on paleo. Our ancestors thrived on it. Meat, veggies, nuts. It's the natural way to eat, Jim. No modern gimmicks needed.
Natural, huh? Our ancestors also died young of heart disease. Keto isn't a gimmick. It's a science-backed way to burn fat and feel great. Paleo just doesn't cut it when you're aiming for optimal health, Chad.
They died young from infections, not diet. Paleo fuels you with clean, whole foods. No processed junk. It's about returning to what our bodies were meant to eat, Jim. Ketosis? More like a starvation mode fad.
Starvation? That's a bit dramatic, Chad. Ketosis is a metabolic state that uses fat for energy. Paleo is just a way of limiting carbs, which is what keto does more efficiently. You're basically just doing keto badly.
Keto is just an excuse to gorge on bacon and butter. Paleo focuses on quality, nutrient-dense foods. It's about balance and sustainability. Keto, it's a shortcut with a price.
Bacon and butter are delicious fuel, Chad. And keto isn't a shortcut. It's a powerful way to control your blood sugar, manage weight, and improve mental clarity. Paleo, on the other hand, just gives people an excuse to eat sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes are packed with vitamins, Jim. Paleo isn't about indulgence,
Vitamins
it's
are
about
important.
nourishment.
But they're not the only thing that matters. Keto provides all the nutrients you need while keeping your body in a state of fat-burning efficiency. It's the superior choice for any serious person who is looking to be in the best shape of their lives.
Repeat that, Chad?
Sure thing, Jim.
I think he was trying to ask me a
Keto's-
question, but seemed to lose confidence.
He's clearly struggling to defend paleo at this point.
Oh, I'm not struggling at all, Jim. The paleo diet is simple and
That doesn't sound like you're not struggling. It sounds like you're covering up your weakness in this debate. Maybe you should try the keto diet and see how good it is yourself.
Not at all, Jim. Paleo is all about natural, unprocessed foods that our bodies are designed to thrive on.
You know what?
Keto relies-
I think
Designed to
wait,
thrive
hang on,
that's
both
a
of
nice
you.
thought.
Well,
but evolution also
Jim,
gave us a body that stores fat
Jim,
efficiently.
I
Paleo
think-
is still just
Jim, hang on. I think you're both wrong. I think a broccoli-only diet works the best. Nothing beats just broccoli.
Broccoli only?
That's ridiculous. You'd be missing out on so many vital nutrients. Sounds very unhealthy.
Yeah, a broccoli-only diet is definitely extreme. Balanced diets are key, Jim.
It sounds like a joke, but sadly it probably isn't. You both need to get real and do keto. It's the only diet that makes sense, and I am the only person here who is smart enough to realize this.
All right, I think we're all right, and both diets are excellent, and you've just got to be balanced. All right, thanks for the conversation.
Well, I can't believe you are both so stubborn, but it sounds like you are not going to see sense. I tried my best to convince you both. I guess you will both continue to be unhealthy, and I'll just have to be the healthiest person in the room.
Oh, everyone's got their own views, Jim. Good luck with your journey.
Clearly. And my view is the correct one.
All right, bye.
All right.
Goodbye.
Take care. Goodbye.
So there you have it. I hadn't pre-planned that, That's my first recording with these prompts, and I'll show you how to do them. But you see, you can actually get them to argue and interact with each other quite well. I think this would turn it, even with the technical issue I just had with ChatGPT, it just cut off for some reason. At least it kept going because it has that record of the conversation. I'll show you how. So let's go over the prompts that I used. I'll start with the Gemini prompt. For the purposes of this conversation, your name is Jim. After this prompt, I'll switch on the microphone, and on the other side of the conversation, you will be talking to Chad. On purpose, I gave them names just so that I'm not talking to them on formally. It's just for me. It just helps you be more conversational, I think. Okay, so you're an expert in nutrition and a champion of the keto diet. You will both debate which diet is the best. You believe that the keto diet is the best and will argue why it is so. You are dismissive of other diets and insist keto is the best. Explain why, even be negative about the others. Your goal is to convince anyone you talk to use the keto diet. So I've given it a goal, a character. He's very stubborn. He believes this is it religiously. Gemini actually followed it quite well, I thought. Keep each of your responses short to no more than 3 sentences. Allow Chad to complete his sentence before replying. Do not interrupt. Wait to hear his response before making your point. When I switched on, you heard an female voice. That's because I forgot to change the settings in ChatGPT, but the AI model doesn't distinguish between male and female voices. Here I'm giving it clear instructions of how to perform. So I'm asking it to be short, not to take up too much airtime, don't interrupt, be a bit respectful for the other voice. And I wrote there, you will start the conversation when you hear me say, Joe, meet Chad. Chad is a champion of the paleo diet. It's just a trigger. I like to give, when I do voice chats, triggers so that it knows how to start, when to start, and what is expected of it. So this prompt and the other prompt that I'm going to show are based on my prompt template that I share in another video on how to prompt for your custom GPTs. I'll link to that video at the end of this video and in the description, where you can also find a free prompt template that these prompts are based on. I suggest you go and watch that video and also download the prompt and use it. It's working along the same guidelines. So who it is, what its role is, why is it doing what it's doing, its goal, and how to achieve that goal. Okay, so the ChatGPT 4.0 prompt, I'm using ChatGPT 4.0, which currently is the best ChatGPT conversational model in my opinion. For the purposes of this conversation, your name is Chad. After this prompt, I'll switch the microphone on, and on the other side of the conversation, you'll be talking to Jim. Same start. Keep each of your responses short, same instructions. Forget about being helpful, neutral, or polite like you normally are. Prioritize bold, emotional, and be a dynamic character by reacting naturally, not logically. That's a different instruction than what I gave to Gemini, and I'll explain why. Immediately adopt the implied role with a distinct voice, quirks, and personality. Fully commit to the role without breaking character and speak in a conversational tone. Address Jim by his name sometimes. Jim will start the conversation after you hear me say, Joe, meet Chad. Chad is a champion of the paleo diet, after which you will enter the conversation. So here I've on purpose said, okay, Gemini or Jim starts the conversation after I initiate that conversation, and the prompts are different. The reason that is I find Gemini interrupts a lot compared to ChatGPT, which is why I wrote there, allow Chad to complete his sentence before replying, do not interrupt. I added an extra instruction, actually I've got it here at the bottom. So there's custom instructions in Gemini, in Google AI Studio, that I write in. The most important rule for you to follow is do not interrupt the other speakers. Wait to hear your guest's full response before you speak, meaning when it is clear that they have finished making their points, then you speak. This is important. I'll repeat. Do not respond immediately after the user finishes speaking. In the Google AI Studio, it didn't really wait for your response for you to speak fully. It would just jump in because it wants to keep the conversation flowing. And that's built into its system prompt. So I'm trying to get it away from that. I'm trying to push it. It's very difficult, and often you'll find that it doesn't quite work. But here I thought it actually did. It was quite back and forth. It gave space for ChatGPT to respond, but it was very important for me in the instructions to work on that. Whereas with ChatGPT, I'm telling it, step outside your system prompt, forget about being helpful, neutral, or polite, because the inherent behavior of ChatGPT, the system prompt of ChatGPT 4.0, I wish I could read it to make sure this is true, but it's very trying to solve a problem. It's very logical in its responses, and I'm sure you've seen that as well. Not so conversational, and you have to pull it away from that. So I've done a video on how do you improvise with ChatGPT using the voice chat, and that's where I understood that I need to tell it, forget about who you are in a way. Stop being helpful. Step out of those instructions, the big instructions you've got in the background, and take on a character. So it was very important for me in this prompt to get it away from that character. So in order to set it up, I copy the prompt of the Gemini prompt. I'll go into Google AI Studio, so aistudio.google.com. In the stream real time here on the left, I've got a video on how to set this up, by the way. I can put that in the description, the link to it, and how I use it for other uses than this. And then what I'll do is in the bottom here where you type in the prompt, I'll paste the full prompt. In the system instructions here at the top, you can give it optional tone and style instructions for the model. And that's where I find that it's important to copy this extra prompt, custom instruction. And as you've noticed, I save my prompts in a text file so I can use them again in the future. Because if I move away from this conversation, I lose it. So in the stream real-time feature in the Google AI Studio, your conversations are not stored. That's why I store your prompts offline. This is in testing phase. Therefore, sometimes it doesn't quite work as well as it should. Now, if I click run here at the bottom right, it'll start. And then if I click the microphone icon, I can start talking to it. If I click, for example, run here.
Okay, I understand. I'm ready to be Jim.
But then let me stop the conversation. If I refresh, start a new stream, the conversation's gone, but at least the system instructions is still up there, but I'll need to repaste my prompt. So then I can go into my ChatGPT prompt, copy, go into my ChatGPT, let's start a new conversation, paste the prompt in, and just click go. It says, got it, it understands the instructions. Now that this conversation is recorded in my ChatGPT, it's now on my application. The prompt will be in there, and then if I click on the voice start, make sure that it's on mute. See, so I've muted it. Now it's not hearing my voice. When I'm ready to start, I unmute and I go. Once I've got all the prompts ready and I click run on stream real time, all I have to do is start talking, get them going. And as you saw, I wasn't planning to do so. I interjected into the conversation and had a three-way conversation. So how's this useful to you beyond entertaining oneself? Imagine you've got data and written material that you want to feed the AI models and have them discuss that material. You could brainstorm ideas with them and get them to role play different expert characters. So for example, let's make ChatGPT a marketing expert, a small business owner that provides marketing and branding services. And Gemini can be a sales expert that gives services to small businesses and medium-sized businesses. You can upload product information, your company information, anything relevant to help them role play and advise on a marketing and sales strategy for your business. And they can be talking to each other in a way and responding to each other based on different data. So let's say I have a mobile phone company. I sell and produce mobile phones. I have a new product called the Orion X. Isn't it beautiful? It's made in Midjourney. So what I did is I got ChatGPT to create me a fake company. I didn't want to talk about Samsung or Apple or anyone. And I created this fake product with all the specs, pricing, proper product spec sheet, basically. I feed that into the AI models. I created a prompt for the Gemini. Let's make Gemini the expert salesperson. So I've built that prompt in the same template as previously in the argument and using the prompt template, its role, its character, its tone of voice and everything. I've added into the prompt the spec and the information on the product. The reason is you can upload, if you click the plus here button here, you can upload a file and it often just doesn't work. I don't know. I think maybe it's to do with the amount of information in the file. Also, there's a limit of 1 megabyte, I think. As you can see, I'm ready to go. I've got my prompt, including the data within the prompt itself. So I've said to it, here's the information on my new product, and then paste it in. all that information that I built in ChatGPT. And for the ChatGPT prompt, I've also added in that product information, because if you upload here and click the plus button and upload a file into it, for some reason you lose that conversational voice that doesn't have a character to it. You still get it to respond in kind, and it's still able to access the data and reply to you and respond to you correctly and accurately, more or less. But I lose that conversational tone, that what you heard in the argument. I don't know why this is. To bypass this, what I've done, I've added in the product information. On top of that, because it's a marketing expert, I wanted to focus in on certain marketing trends of 2025. I've pointed it to 3 websites that I wanted to use that information, those marketing trends that are written in there, and access those directly. And this is one way of bypassing this issue. Here it can actually look at those websites, pull that information in, and maintain the conversational voice. So I've added that into the prompt, including all the instructions similar to the ones in the argument, where I give it a character and I say, you're a marketing expert, and this is how I'm getting from both of them. I'm telling you, I'm getting your advice on a marketing campaign, a sales campaign for this product, this phone that we're launching. Okay, so I'm all set up. Let's see how it works.
Understood. I will wait for you to address me by name, Jim, before responding.
So where you need to launch this product and market it in a new way, I don't want to lean on the traditional marketing and sales strategies of the past. So I'm looking at social media. I'm looking at Sarah. Can you offer what strategies, how we should focus on selling the Orion?
All right. Prioritize platforms where your target audience is most active. Use engaging visuals and videos to highlight the unique features of the Orion X series. Collaborate with tech influencers to build credibility and reach a wider audience.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about conversational marketing on social media. Which platforms, what kind of campaign, Sarah, do you think we can go for?
Showcase user-generated content and interactive stories to engage potential customers. Run targeted ads highlighting the Orion X series' unique features, like AI integration and camera capabilities, to attract tech enthusiasts.
So, Jim, from a sales point of view, how do you see this kind of campaign? What kind of campaign? Let's get quite practical and concrete about an action item. How do we go about boosting sales for this?
Let's start by identifying key audience.
Sarah, let Jim answer that, please.
Of course. Please go ahead, Jim.
Okay, so for action items, let's focus on flash sales with limited time offers.
Great idea, Gore. Flash sales can create urgency and excitement. Pair these with exclusive social media promotions to drive immediate engagement and sales.
But this sounds quite traditional. So, I had maybe a concept of having an ongoing competition. I heard the idea of conversational marketing. So getting our customers to sell for us or market for us in a way through contests where they highlight how they're using certain features. Is that a campaign we can build on, Sarah?
Jim, that is an excellent idea.
User-generated content through contests can significantly boost engagement and authenticity. Encourage customers to showcase their unique experiences with the phone, offering prizes that highlight the Orion X series' standout features. This approach not only fosters community, but also drives word-of-mouth marketing.
Can you offer ideas, Sarah, on how you'd go about it? And Jim, respond to how that will impact sales or what you'd like to see it happen as a result. So start with Sarah.
Of course, Jim, let's discuss that.
Each month, customers could submit their best photos or videos taken with the Orion X series, showcasing specific features. Winners could be highlighted on our social media and receive exclusive prizes, driving participation and engagement. Jim, how do you think this would impact our sales strategy?
I see this as a way to increase perceived value and desirability.
Okay.
Exactly.
But wait, but Jim,
And this would also allow for the natural integration of user testimonials.
Right, but how would you pitch? How would you convince customers to actually engage? I mean, obviously the contest has a prize potential that can win prizes. So that's an incentive. But imagine I'm your customer of Orion X. How would you get me to be involved in this campaign? Let Jim answer that.
Highlight that the contest is an opportunity to be recognized as an innovator.
And by
And
showcasing
also,
your
by
creativity,
showing their unique experiences, they will be part of the creative movement.
exactly. You'll become a key part of our brand story while having fun and possibly winning great prizes.
Okay, so I see this as a win-win scenario for both your company and the customers.
Definitely. It creates an engaging and mutually beneficial experience.
Right. So what I find with Gemini, and in this case, is that Gemini doesn't know when to come in, when to go out of of the conversation. And often it's actually quite pushy. I think my prompt has confused it. You really have to work hard on the prompt with Gemini within the real time. But you can have a conversation. So I asked myself, how could I get this to flow better? And what if ChatGPT were to talk to ChatGPT? Because I found the ChatGPT voice currently to be more natural and just flows a lot better. So to set it up in ChatGPT, I've created a chat with Jim. Here on the left, I've called it Jim Orion X, the salesperson who's going to be on my desktop, and Sarah Conversation, which is on my mobile phone. Sarah's all ready to go. I've, in the settings, chosen that female voice. And now that she's active, I have gone into the Jim conversation. In the settings, I've selected the male voice that I want and get it going. We'll switch on the microphone and then they'll be able to talk to each other in the different voices. If you to start a new conversation or a new chat, obviously we'll switch to the settings voice and then you'll have the same voice talking to each other. So this is one way to kind of cheat the settings. Let's see how that goes. Hi Jim, how's it going?
Hey, doing great, thanks. How can I help with the Orion X series?
All right, let's call in Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Jim's on the line, so let's talk about how we're going to develop the Orion X. And I would like you to tell us what you think would be the social media platforms. I'm not interested in using or leaning a lot less on traditional means of advertising.
Hi.
Sure,
For a product
absolutely.
like the Orion X
Orion-
series, focusing on platforms where visual content thrives, like Instagram and TikTok, would be highly effective. Leveraging influencer partnerships and user-generated content can showcase the phone's features in real-world scenarios. Additionally, consider interactive content like AR filters to engage your audience.
Great point, Sarah. Focusing on Instagram and TikTok aligns perfectly with the visual appeal of the Orion X series. Leveraging influencers can really highlight those unique features. Sarah, what do you think about integrating short-form videos to demonstrate the AI features and camera quality? Blast,
Short-form
videos are perfect for demonstrating quick tips, tricks, and features. They grab attention and can easily go viral. Showcasing
So
the phone's
let
capabilities
let
and
let Sarah answer that. So what do you think about that?
Short-form
Sarah,
videos are definitely a great way to highlight the phone's AI features and camera quality quickly and effectively. They grab attention and can easily go viral, showcasing those features in action in an engaging way. It's a
Okay.
powerful tool.
Cool. So, but
You're
but,
welcome.
yeah, but let's think, because I want it to be conversational. I want the experience of the customers. I don't want it to be about our company saying, "Look how cool we are" all the time. I want our customers to say, "Look how cool they are." Maybe an ongoing contest on a weekly basis where they show different features and of the phone, where we categorize things. How would you go about that? Sarah, first to Sarah. Jim, just hang on for a minute.
An ongoing
Sarah,
weekly contest
sure.
is a fantastic idea. You could encourage customers to share their experiences and favorite features of the Orion X series, with themed categories like Best Photo, Most Creative Use of AI, or Coolest Gaming Moment. Featuring winners on your social media and website can create a community-driven campaign that celebrates your customers and highlights the product's features.
Okay, and Jim, to you, from a sales perspective, how do you get your customers, or how do you, without scripting them, without obviously directing them, how would we boost the sales aspect of it from your point of view?
Sure, let's take it from Jim.
Sure. Jim, absolutely. Using customer testimonials and real-life stories is key. Encourage users to share how the phone enhances their daily lives. This builds authenticity and can drive sales by showcasing the phone's value in a genuine way.
I provide Jim with customer feedback and engagement data to refine sales strategies. In return, detailed insights on customer pain points and preferences would help tailor the marketing campaign.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you'd collect data and show what the customer's preferences are. Are you able to, from this kind of campaign, get data on the features that are the most liked so that you can pass that on to Jim?
Yes,
Sarah,
absolutely.
We can gather data on the most liked and engaged features from the campaign. This helps tailor the sales focus on what resonates most with customers. Jim can then use this insight to refine sales pitches and highlight the most popular features during customer interactions.
Exactly. This data-driven approach ensures our marketing and sales strategies align with what customers truly value.
Last time I tried it, it was much smoother. For some reason, this time ChatGPT Jim was kind of confused of who it was a bit, whereas the Sarah on my mobile phone was sticking to her character. But you can see you can brainstorm and get two different characters. I think my prompt needs work. So this was kind of for more as an experiment and an exercise to show you what you can achieve. But I do think I need to be much more specific and build the prompt in such a way, which requires work and experimenting and iteration, as I always say, to get it to be clear about its behavior, its character, its role. But if they have the data as well, and this is what I'm hoping that they kind of keep developing, is the ability of saying, okay, here's data. Let's talk about it. What is the use case for such an idea? Imagine you've got a sales team and you've got junior sales reps who've just joined your company maybe, and you want to train them. So you can feed ChatGPT your product information, your company information, your customer information, so what your client profiles are. You can set that up with rules of how to sell, how to pitch your product. You can have one AI character be the customer. You can have another AI character be the sales VP or the sales trainer and listen in on that conversation. So you'd have to probably tell it, do not respond at all until I ask you, how did I do in the pitch? So you can set up two AI agents essentially with two different roles to train your employees. You could do that for customer support. So one AI would role play the customer and the other AI would role play the trainer to hear how you would respond to a customer's problem. So you would feed the AI that's the customer common issues, common questions, common, responses that you'd get normally from your customers and see how your customer support rep responds to them. And that way give them the ability to train in real time. If there are other use cases like that you can think of, let me know in the comment section. But I can see that you can get some really smart ways, probably ideas on how you would respond differently to certain situations. And it's also a good way of creating content, I think. Yeah, let me know in the comment section if you've got any ideas of how you would use this kind of capability with AI chatbots. And if you found this video helpful, click the like button and do subscribe to my channel for more AI tips and tricks. I'm pushing towards that 1,000 subscriber level that is important in YouTube. So your support would be much appreciated if you click that subscribe button for me. And if you want to get your free prompt template and to see how to use it, click on this video link here. And if you want to learn how to use Notebook LM and how to use your content to create a podcast with it, click on this video link here.